Hello again, folks, and welcome to another edition of the Supplier Spotlight Tales of the Trade. My name is Liam Ball. I'm your magical wedding host, also known as the Gentleman Magician. And today, we're going to be tuning into a voice that doesn't just sing, she soars. Now, joining me today is a sensational wedding vocalist. She's an award-winning professional vocalist whose voice has been known to bring a tear to the eye and goosebumps to the skin. She's a proud winner of the Essex Wedding Awards, and she doesn't just perform, she elevates every moment that she's a part of. Now, whether it's the aisle walk, the drinks reception, or that unforgettable first dance, she's going to bring some emotion, some elegance, and some pitch-perfect performance. So sit back and relax, and let us take you behind the scenes with one of the region's most celebrated voices, the wonderful Hayley Gold from Hayley Gold Vocalist. Hi, Hayley, how you doing?
I'm good, thanks. You?
Absolutely fabulous, thanks very much. How is life treating you?
Crazy, absolutely crazy, but I wouldn't change it for a single moment. I'm loving it. I'm in the thick of wedding season. I've done a handful of weddings already, got more to come through August, and yeah, it's been fantastic. So yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. So let's go in right at the top. What was it that made you wake up one day and think, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go and sing at weddings.
Well, I've always wanted to be a singer ever since I was like 2, 3. I remember telling like my dad that I wanted to be a singer when I was really, really young, and had influences like Michael Jackson, people like that when I was really young. I never really got into any kind of singing. I was a dancer, but I spent 15 years as a dancer and a dance teacher.
Yeah.
And then decided, well, actually, I hurt my ankle, and long story short, I had to basically change my career. So I decided that was it. I was going to be a singer. And I didn't actually get into weddings until I got married myself. And I just loved everything about it. I loved the emotion. I loved the family. I loved the love, basically. And I saw a couple of singers on Instagram, and I thought, that's where I'm going to channel my singing. I'm going to be a wedding singer. And a couple of years later, here we are.
That's amazing. What a great origin story. Now, I mean, I've obviously spent a little bit of time looking at your website prior to meeting this, and it gives me the idea that your style is refined and emotive. But how would you describe your music to somebody who's never heard you sing?
So I would describe it as romantic, emotional, elevating, but also I bring energy, life, and fun into my performances as well. So if you had a look at my song list, you've got everything on there from the romantic, emotional songs, Walking Down the Aisle to, but then my speciality is actually acoustic garage, acoustic club classics, and acoustic Ibiza.
Right.
So
okay.
for all of those people that love all of those dance songs, I create a really chilled, relaxed, acoustic vibe that you can bring all of them sounds into your wedding, but just at a nice sort of atmospheric kind of feeling, you know?
So essentially what you're doing is you're providing a service where people can have beautiful melodic background music, while at the same time, half of the guests are sitting there thinking, I know this from somewhere.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I was dancing to this last night.
Yeah. That created nostalgia as well. And I do think music does bring all of those like memories. So obviously sitting there exactly like you're saying, like hearing a song and thinking, oh, hang on a second, I danced to that last week. It's all about creating those memories and those sort of nostalgic feelings and just making everything warm and lovely. And music does bring everybody together. So no matter what song it is, whether it is the acoustic garage and things like that, or if it is the romantic sort of vibes, everyone is always brought together by music.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, I've always said there's just factual. I was in the army many years ago, and there was a guy there who played the guitar, and he said, I don't care who you are or what kind of music it is, live music is always brilliant. And he was right, and he is still right, and I think that's very true. So I think to be able to go and provide a service where everybody hears wonderful, lovely, as you say, romantic, flowing music, but at the same time, if the couple say, yeah, but we really love dance tracks and really love dance tunes, it's like, hey, no problem. We can do all of that without breaking the scene, without breaking a sweat, which is really great. Do you remember your first ever wedding performance?
I do, yes.
Oh, okay. I sense like there might be a story here.
I don't want to go into too much detail because of obviously it's respect for the couple, but
Yeah.
from looking at that wedding to say the wedding I did yesterday,
Mhm.
they are miles apart,
Yeah.
miles apart. The first one I ever did, I don't actually think that the couple knew that I was going to be there. It was booked
Okay.
by a bridesmaid that was supposed to be booking a surprise, but I don't think the couple really were like I don't think they really wanted a singer, but you know, I was still there and I sang their first dance and it was me. It was, yeah, I was a surprise singer to start with. But yeah, then obviously it was a lovely wedding, of course. Looking at that sort of wedding to the weddings that I'm doing now, I was singing at Swinford Manor yesterday,
Yeah.
and I DJ'd for the evening, so I did a complete whole package for them, which worlds away, completely worlds away from my first to my last. So
I mean,
yeah.
looking back at your first wedding to where you are now, as much as soon as yesterday, how would you say that you have grown into your style and your performance?
Oh my goodness. I just think that it's just a lot of research. I've done a lot of research on different songs. Obviously, there's lots of trending songs and things like that. So keeping up with the trends, with the music, with the songs that people are liking, and personal growth for myself, I've kind of stepped into my confidence. I mean, I'm known as sort of the loud, not loud as such, but I'm sort of the bright colours and quite a fun and energetic wedding singer, where a lot of the other wedding singers are very sort of wearing like pastel colours and things like that. But I want to go out and be vibrant and energetic and fun. And I wasn't like that. I was always sort of trying to be in the box with everybody else to be that sort of quiet, romantic wedding singer. And
Yeah.
I really grew in confidence through the last couple of years. Number one, from doing more weddings, and number two, meeting other wedding singers. I'm
Yeah.
actually in a network of about 35 other wedding singers across Essex. And a couple of them have really made me feel like I can be who I want to be.
Yeah.
Because it's really difficult when you're a performer. I'm sure you're the same. You've got to find your niche. You've got to find where you place yourself. I mean, you're very niche, being the gentleman magician. No one's got the tash like you. It's a brand. You're a brand, and you have to create your own brand. And I think from the first day of when I sang at that wedding to today, I've definitely stepped into my own and stepped into sort of the person that I want to be as a wedding singer.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a wonderful journey.
Yeah, I think actually you've hit on so many points there. I mean, it's something that I'm constantly saying to magicians. I go to the Magic Circle every week. I help people to kind of improve their performances, their shows, their magic. I actually run a show at the Circle. And there's constantly people there who are looking kind of for improvement and feedback. And the one thing that we say time and time again, I think it's the same for all disciplines of performance. There is no substitute for flight time. You can
No,
you can sit in your bedroom and sing to your heart's content all day long, but nothing will prepare you for going out there for the first time and doing it live. And I guess in this instance, the more you sing for people, the better a performer you become.
oh, 100%. It's all about confidence at the end of the day. You've got to be confident in what you're doing.
Yeah.
The first couple of weddings that I sang the ceremony, which I personally feel like is the most important part and also the most nerve-wracking, because you have to get everything perfect this time. You can't say, oh, sorry, could you just turn around and do that again because I didn't get the note right or something. You have to be perfect. But like you say, you have to be confident in what you're doing, and you have to, it's all about growing and doing things.
That's right. And of course, you get to that point, don't you, where you know this is just going to go well. I've done this now so many times, I can't get it wrong anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Fantastic. So when it comes down to thinking about sort of songs for the right different parts of maybe the ceremony or the drinks reception, how do you help couples to choose those songs?
So on my website, I've got a song list, and there's over 250 songs on there. Uh, I actually started off with just a list of all the songs.
Yeah.
So they were in sections. They were in like romantic, obviously the acoustic garage and Ibiza classics. Then we had pop music, rock music, classical, things like that. But now what I do, I put them in sections of the day. So at the top of my list, we've got the wedding ceremony,
Yeah.
and there's songs that have been chosen by the bride and groom over the last 3 years.
Right.
And I all in a list so people can look at them and think, which ones? And they're obviously, that's the inspiration because they're from other couples. And yeah, like I said, I've put them in a list. There's about 20 songs on there, I think 25 songs. But more often than not, there is something on that list that people will choose for their ceremony. And then for the drinks reception and the wedding breakfast, pretty much those two sections of the day, you can either have the drinks reception as acoustic and the wedding breakfast as upbeat if you want it that way. A lot of people like to have their starter and then get up and have a little dance.
Yeah.
Or they like to have it the other way round, where they have upbeat music for their drinks reception to get the energy up after the ceremony, and then bring the energy back down and have acoustic vibes throughout their wedding breakfast. So I've got a section on my song list where you've got drinks reception and wedding breakfast recommended songs. And there's probably about 150 songs on there.
Wow.
But all of the different songs are interchangeable. They're just recommendations of what other couples have chosen before, because I think that's the best way to sort of advertise what songs are available.
Yeah.
And not just about having it as my opinion of what I think should be for their wedding. It's about what other people have chosen, real life brides and grooms. So yeah, it's sort of just helping them along their journey, really, and making it a little bit easier.
Fantastic. So all go on.
I have got something new that's come out, which I haven't advertised yet.
Right.
And it is called the Just Married Jukebox as well, which is a little bit of fun. But this, again, will take all of the stress off of any kind of song choosing or song planning. So it's a big board, and I have printed out all of the different songs that I sing onto little tiny CDs.
Okay.
And during the drinks reception, your guests can actually come over, pick a tune and hang it on the board. And whatever tune's on the board, that's what I'm going to be singing for the day.
That's great.
Yeah, so that's mainly just for the drinks reception, but it can lead on to the wedding breakfast.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just a bit of fun. It's to help the couples that are like overwhelmed with choosing so many songs, because I understand 150 songs is a lot of songs to choose from.
Yeah.
And it just gives their guests a chance to choose the song and sort of take the heat off of them, but also the guests feel involved as well.
That's brilliant.
And and it also gives me a little bit of sort of makes me feel a little bit excited, because I won't know what the songs are when they choose. It's not like a preset performance. It's what am I going to be singing today? So yeah,
and I suppose there's a huge benefit there as well, isn't there? Because the couple have got ultimately the knowledge that their guests are going to hear music that they want to hear, but at the same time they're picking from a preset list of possibilities, so they know what they know they're not going to get things that maybe they don't want to hear. And I suppose you could also say in advance, hey, here's my Just Married jukebox. Are there any things here that you'd like me to take out that you don't specifically want?
Exactly.
That's great.
So things like the aisle song, I always say to them, what's your aisle song, your register signing songs, and your exit song, and also your first dance song. So if I've got any of those 5 songs in my Just Married jukebox, they will be taken up, because I don't sing the same song twice.
That's great. Oh, fantastic. So do you have any songs on your list that you think maybe are underrated, but at the same time perfect for different moments of a wedding?
Oh, it's really difficult to say. It depends what the vibe is for the wedding, because every single wedding, as I'm sure you understand, it's so individual. It's individual, and then there's a lot of songs that they choose for their day, and I think, oh, that's not going to work, and then I sing it, and then everyone's standing up dancing, and I just, wow, I didn't even think that was going to happen. But yeah, I mean, I do encourage it sometimes. With a couple of couples have said, get them up dancing, get the energy up.
Yeah,
then we're going to be on the tables dancing, but yeah, there's so many songs, just so many. There's a really lovely song by James T.W. called Speechless, and it was written for a wedding, and it's about a bride walking down the aisle and how the groom feels, which I think is a really lovely piece of music, because it's sort of including the bride and the groom.
Yeah.
Because more often than not, I'm sure you're the same, you speak to the bride and everything is pretty much chosen by the bride.
A lot
and
of
the
the
groom.
time, yeah.
So yeah, it's just a really nice song that I think more people should choose. More people should use it, because it's such a beautiful song.
Nice. Okay. So, let's put our thinking hats on for a second then. So it's the day of a wedding. You've been booked to sing. You've got up in the morning. You've brushed your teeth, combed your hair, whatever. You're about to walk out the door. What does your day look like from when you arrive all the way through to performance?
So I normally arrive 2 to 3 hours before a wedding. Depending what I'm doing for the day. So whether it's 2 or 3 parts of the day, I've got 2 different types of speakers. So I've got a Bose one, which is the smallest one. That battery operated, which I charged the night before, so that if I've got an outdoor ceremony that hasn't got any kind of power supply, that is perfect for that. And then I've obviously got my iPad and everything that I set up, and that only takes about 10-15 minutes to set up. I also speak to the coordinator on the day to make sure that I've got all the same information as them, to make sure everything flows. I do a little bit of hosting like you do. So if they haven't booked a host, I just double check on the names of speeches. I check on the timings of the day. I just double check their surname just in case. You never know. There might be a spelling mistake or something. Welcome them into their wedding breakfast. I try not to speak to the bride or the groom or any of the bridal party before the ceremony, just because I know it's a lot for them to deal with on the day. So yeah, that's what I do with my equipment. Then I get changed. I normally record a little bit of content for them. So I take sort of little highlights from behind the scenes, and put that in a little video. I've just sent one this morning for yesterday's wedding. And it's just little highlights, just things that they've spent a lot of money on, like their flowers or the candles or the menu or the place settings, just little highlights that they can remember. Because I think things like that they probably will forget, but they've spent lots of money on it, so you might as well remember it. I obviously record songs for future couples that have asked for samples, and it's always nice to have a sample of a video of a song at a wedding venue so they can visualize their day. And then I just get ready and wait for the big moment. And then so we start off by singing for the guest arrival. So the guests come in, take their seats. I sing the beautiful bride down the aisle. I always like to include 2 or 3 songs just before the aisle song, which the groom can choose, because like I said before, I love including the groom, because it is majority of the time a lot of the brides that choose all the music and things. So I always say to them, pick 2 or 3 songs that you love that are on my list, and I'll either learn them for you or sing them for you, just to sort of relax you or make you feel a bit comfortable, because it is nerve-wracking for a man. They always say, no, I'm not going to cry, and they always do. So I always just feel like if I sing them a little song or try and give them some kind of sound that's going to make them feel a bit more comfortable, it just helps ease everything, you know?
We are soft souls at heart, really.
Yeah, honestly, the amount of men that have said to me this year, I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry. They always cry. And then, we just keep the day flowing with drinks reception, wedding breakfast. We've got the golden hour, which is the evening guest arrival. And then the first dance I sing for them. And then I let the DJ take over, or I'm the one that DJs. So that's what it looks like.
Oh, that's great. Oh, fabulous. So out of all the things that you do, what's your favourite moment of the day to sing for?
I think it is the ceremony. It's the ceremony aisle song. It's just such a lovely moment. It's a wonderful moment. And I've got so many videos of brides walking down the aisle, and it's just that sort of when the groom turns round and sees the bride for the first time, it's just such a beautiful moment, and I just love it. It's just the best part. But I have been getting there's a couple of songs that I've started singing for the wedding breakfast, so Can't Take My Eyes Off of You, Angels by Robbie Williams,
Awesome.
and what other ones was there? There's a couple of other songs that I've started to sing, and it's really caused commotion during the wedding breakfast. Where people were dancing with their napkins, they're spinning their napkins. It was a couple of the acoustic garage songs, actually. So wedding breakfasts are getting more and more my favourite part of the day as well. But it will always be the aisle song. That is the number one moment.
Get you. Yeah, that makes sense. So I guess that one of the big reasons why people book you is because, of course, you are you and nobody else is you. And that boils down to your style, your performance, your vocal talent, and how you approach that. So how do you approach putting your style on a song which is already a really well-known song, like, for instance, Robbie Williams' Angels?
Yeah. So my style and my personality, which is what I try and sell as well. So it's all about it's about everything. It's about the vocalist, the personality, the colours, the excitement, the fun. Obviously, Angels is a very sort of not not romantic, is it? It's an emotional song. It is
Yeah.
really emotional, and it really hits people in different ways.
Mhm.
When if I sing that song, for instance, I do get people to put their hands in the air. When you put your hands in the air, that's I don't know what it does, but it just makes everything sort of I don't know if you reach into the clouds or whatever, but it just makes everything feel a little bit more. It's bigger, isn't it?
Yeah.
So everything you're feeling while you're singing that song becomes bigger. And I've seen people hugging each other, kissing each other, holding hands, dancing. So it's just about sort of encouraging and bringing people into my little bubble to create that sort of lifted energy,
Yeah.
even though it is a very emotional song.
Mm.
So yeah, I just sort of I try and bring the energy to the song, regardless of what song it is. Yeah, when it's obviously when it's emotional, I obviously, as you said earlier, try and make people cry. So there's a lot of eye contact, a lot of sort of
Get it?
getting
Okay.
tears out of people. So yeah.
So, what across the career of weddings now that you've done, when you think back, what's the one moment that really comes to mind every time you think the best moment I ever had singing was? What's that moment for you?
I was talking about this to one of my wedding friends today, actually, and it was last week, actually. There was a couple. One of them was Brazilian and one is from the UK.
Yeah.
And the Brazilian bride, all of her family came over, and the energy that they brought was just absolutely electric, but also just full of love. Everybody was crying before the bride even came down the aisle. But even during the first song, no, the exit song. So as they exited, the bridesmaids were already dancing, and they did not stop dancing until the moment I left. And the moment that sticks out for me for that wedding in particular, I sang, oh, it even makes me tingle thinking about it. They chose Rather Be by Jess Glynn, which was actually my first dance song.
Right.
And they chose that as their wedding breakfast entrance song.
Amazing.
And I got everybody to spin their napkins.
Yeah.
And asked the wedding coordinator to take a video from behind of the bride and groom walking down the stairs and into the wedding breakfast area. It was the Warren in Chelmsford, if you know it.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a really nice entrance for them, but the atmosphere was electric. And on Instagram, the amount of views I've got from it as well. And it's not just about the views, but obviously what I felt in that moment, obviously other people have felt as well. And it was just the best moment. I think they were a brilliant, brilliant couple anyway. And the guests and their families were just amazing, all of them. And it was an emotional moment for me because I was singing my first dance song for them.
Yeah.
And they were singing it at their wedding, which felt like a massive full circle. So yeah, that was one of the best moments, I think.
Fantastic. That's great. And I do, in fact, that's one of my favourite moments actually, is the big entrance into a wedding breakfast. So yeah, that's great. What a lovely moment to have to share.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So let's just say there's 50 couples listening to this podcast and watching this video right now. And I think 150, 1,000, 1,000,000. Yes. All of the couples who are listening to this right now thinking, never thought about having a vocalist at my wedding, but it's starting to sound like a really good idea. What advice would you give to couples who are looking to book a vocalist and thinking about wedding music?
Do it. Absolutely do it. So if you're thinking about music, which you will have to think about for your day, obviously you've got the main songs, which is your ceremony song, your 2 aisle songs and your exit song. Plus you've got your wedding breakfast entrance song and your first dance. That's I've lost count. 6 songs? 6 songs that you've got to choose. Then you've got to think of how your day is going to flow from the ceremony through to the drinks reception, through to the wedding breakfast and through to the evening guest arrival, and how you imagine the energy and the atmosphere that you want to create for your day. If you put a playlist on from Spotify, all you're going to do is hear music. There's not going to be anything. It could go, and I'm not saying that every wedding day is like this, but it might go a little bit flat because there is just music playing. However, if you want that energy and that emotion and that romance and like a little bit of dancing or someone to help just carry your day through, then a wedding singer is 100% the best option. Not only that, but we take the stress away because like I say, everything on my song list is already preset. You can literally see it in section by section, and you can literally go, I'll have the acoustic garage and Ibiza classics for my drink reception and my wedding breakfast. That is literally one sentence, and your music is complete for the day.
Yep.
So it takes away the stress, it adds emotion, it's going to entertain your guests. So there'll be a part when the drinks reception happens for your guests where they're going to be having drinks, nibbles. You'll be taken off having photos, and your guests might be like, oh, what are we doing now? If you've got a wedding singer, they'll be there to carry everything, entertain your guests, and they won't even realise that you're off having photos somewhere else. So I think it does bring everything together. It really does.
I think you're right. I think there are so many weddings where couples forget, understandably, because there's a lot to plan, but forget that while they're away for 40 minutes having photos taken, that their guests are sipping drinks and waiting for them to come back. And having
there's couples that haven't been to weddings before. If they haven't been to they wouldn't know that.
Yeah,
so
that's right. But yeah, of course, having music on in the background is expected, but having somebody there to entertain is a whole different level, isn't it? It's not even on the same plane. That's some great shouts there. So would you say there are any common misconceptions about couples booking live music, things that they think will or won't happen that don't?
Misconceptions. Because I'm quite thorough in what I do and offer. I think I'm quite transparent with everything, so I don't think anyone expects anything more or less than what I give.
Okay.
I can't think of what else that they would expect. This is one. So people think that we just turn up and sing. That's it. So obviously when we're sending a brochure, they think we just turn up and sing. Just as I'm sure they probably think a magician turns up and does a card trick and that's it. You do way more than that. I have seen, honestly, magicians are incredible. They're on another level. But people do think that wedding singers just get up and just turn up and sing. And sometimes, obviously, when it comes to budget, I completely understand that times are getting hard with money and things like that. But when booking a wedding singer, we don't just turn up and sing. For me, personally, obviously, I can't speak for every wedding singer, but I know with my packages, I build up a relationship with people before the wedding. So it's not just about me turning up and singing. From the day that I get booked, I'll keep in constant contact with all of my couples to make sure that everything is perfect and keep going over everything and get excited for their wedding as well, because I love weddings. I wouldn't be doing this job if I didn't. And obviously on the day, I turn up 3 hours before to set everything up, to take videos, to give you little highlights of your day. I know that's not really in my job description, but it's something that I do just because I didn't have a videographer for my wedding. And it's one thing I regret. And also didn't have a wedding singer. And I really should have done, and that's something else I regret. So 2 things, if I can
do it again.
Well, could do. Just have a big party. But so there's lots of things that I like to add to the day to make it a whole experience. That's what it is for me. It's more of an experience that I want to offer rather than just turning up and singing. So that's the misconception about wedding singers that I can do.
Yeah, I think you're right. That the number of people who said to me, well, if you're going to host today, you can just arrive and do it, right? And it's like, no, I need to know who's doing what and when it's happening. I need the timeline. I need to know who the suppliers are. So yeah, definitely. I think, that's a great one. Right. Here's an interesting question. What's the most unusual or surprising request that you've had at a wedding?
Somebody asked me what did they ask me? Something Compton. What was it? It was a rap song.
Oh, okay.
Just say it didn't get played, unfortunately. So there's 2 things that I need to do or need to know when someone is giving me a song request. Number 1, I need to know the tune of the song, as in the melody of the song. And number 2, I need to know the lyrics. If I don't know either of them, I can't sing their songs for them. So yeah, they're just the funny song requests sometimes. I think I have asked for Alice before. Living next door to Alice. That one would definitely not be sung ever. I'm just trying to think of some songs, because normally I can wing it sometimes. If someone's asked me for a song request that I've maybe sung once or twice, I can sort of get through it, normally with the help of everybody else, because I say, come on, sing.
Yeah, yeah.
The most unusual. I mean, the singing waiter thing at the minute, like that's quite cool. See, not because it's not as unusual anymore, but it's still a really cool sort of thing. I do find that magicians, because I obviously met you quite a while ago, and at the time, magicians weren't really as popular, just like wedding singers. We weren't really as popular.
Yeah.
But I can see now that magicians and all of those extra suppliers are becoming more popular. So you've got
Yeah.
people that sketch instead of the couple giving out favors, they're sketching their guests.
Live event artists, yeah.
Yeah, event artists, things like that, which are unusual. But there's never been anything that's really unusual with like the guest or anything like bad that's happened or anything. So
Okay.
fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Here's a personal question for you. If you could duet with anybody, living or dead, at any event, who would it be and where would you be singing?
Becky Hill. I'd be singing a drum and bass tune on a stage at a festival with 100,000 people.
Amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Maybe something to do in the future.
Fingers crossed again.
Fingers
Becky
crossed.
Hill. Yeah, Becky Hill. I love her. She's one of my inspirations. If it's not Becky Hill, there is a semi-famous singer that lives around my way called Leanne Louise. I'm going to share this with her after because I'm all about manifesting. And if she sees this video, she does like a lot of things on my Instagram. So I think she's becoming a fan of mine as well. But I'm a big fan of hers.
Yeah.
But if it's not Becky Hill, it would be singing on a stage at a festival with Leanne Louise, singing a Jack Garage tune. So there we go.
Fantastic. And final question for you, Hayley. For everybody who's listening and has enjoyed this chat so far and they want to know more about you, where can they do that?
They can find me on TikTok, Hayley Gold Music. They can find me on Facebook and Instagram, Hayley Gold Vocals. They can have a look at my website, www.hayleygoldvocalist.com, or they can just pop to Canvey Island and find me on the beach having a little sing-song somewhere.
Absolutely fantastic.
I always post where I am on my Instagram as well. So if anyone does want to catch me singing, they can check out my Instagram stories.
Brilliant. Well, hopefully you will be hearing from people. In the meantime, Hayley, I'm going to say thank you so much for coming along. It's been an absolute pleasure to chat with you. And let's catch up again soon. Take care.
Definitely. Thanks. Bye.
And there you have it, folks. The golden voice and golden accolade to match. A huge thank you to Hayley Gold, the Essex Wedding Award winner, an all-round vocal enchantress, joining us today and sharing her musical world with heart and honesty. Now, remember, if you're planning a big day and you want to work with somebody who'll turn your wedding into a truly unforgettable soundtrack, do visit hayleygoldvocalist.com or send her a serenading Instagram over at Hayley Gold Vocalist. And as ever, if you're looking for a wedding host with a touch of magic and a flair for the unforgettable, I remain at your service. Until then, folks, stay tuned and stay inspired. Take care. Bye-bye.